I want to share this little piece with you. Um, it's about boundaries and saying no, the ability to say no. Because I've been talking with my husband and we're kind of going like, yeah, there is always, it's like almost there is a cultural barrier to looking after yourself at the expense of, it feels like pushing others away, but the expense of saying, well, this is me and this is you, and I'll take care of me and you take care of you, and I take the responsibility for you, and I trust that you can do the same. I know you can do the same. Um, but we have this feeling that it's like this American service industry, like you have to please your customers, you have to please other people. It's even when you look at how a lot of parents parent is like you have to share your toy with a friend. So asking the child at that young age to not acknowledge, to disregard their emotion, their need in favor of someone else. We see it. I see it again and like all the time. And it's the accepted norm. You have to share, especially with a very young child. It's not within their, it's not that developmental age to actually learn to share. It's a developmental age of learning that I am this, and this is important. This is autonomous. Sharing comes later, and that doesn't mean don't help them learn it, but it's just not this like you have to share, be nice, rather than be true to yourself. So saying that no, like not saying no to people, it's deeply ingrained in us in so many ways, like in families. um like you want to please people, so like if you don't say no, if you say yes even though you don't want to do it, if you say yes even though you're resentful, what is it that you gain in that moment? Do you gain approval? Is that what you gained as a child, approval? Do you gain safety? If you would say yes instead of standing your ground, does it make you feel safer? Do you gain appreciation? What is it that you're gaining in that moment when you're saying yes, even though your body, your embodied truth says no? So it's a really intricate question. And the more you take it apart and you look at yourself through the lens of this work, the more clearer it is. And then you can stand in your truth and you can say yes and no for yourself. Somebody who I talked with on this conference this last weekend said, it's a lovely quote. He said I could quote him. It's Dr. Colin Carey. And it's for every small no, you are able to give a much bigger yes. Because as you stand in your integrity of saying no when that's true for you, it frees up so much energy to be authentically yes in other situations. Because this no that is not truthful, this yes that is not truthful, that saps your energy, creates resentment, makes you tired. Yeah, so if you're interested in looking at those intricacies of why it's difficult for you to say no, let's schedule a session and we go through with the work through one of those situations for you where it's really hard for you to say no. And there is a discrepancy between intellectually knowing, that I should put up barriers, and actually feeling it, because of your truth is like, it's much more important for me to gain appreciation, much more important for me to gain safety than it is to stand in your truth. So at that point, once you understand that you're actually safe even though you say no, then that yes, that no becomes more fluent, and your yes becomes more energetic and more truthful. It's fascinating work. I really, really, really love digging into the human mind like that, in my mind and in everybody else's mind, because we're all really, really similar. And then also this feeling of, this putting up boundaries. So this is like a thing that's heralded so often. You have to put up a boundary. You have to put up a boundary to keep yourself safe. Is actually, it's not. It stops being such a pushing away act. It becomes a kind act, because you honor you, and in honoring you, you honor the other person. You say to that person, I know I will do this for myself, and I trust that you can do that for yourself as well. Rather than saying, I will say yes to make you feel better. It's actually really arrogant. You need me to feel better. You need me to be okay. You say, I make sure I'm okay because I trust that you can do the same for yourself. That is kind and respectful. And then a boundary isn't a negative thing. It's not even got a negative vibe. It's a respectful and kind thing to do. It makes all the difference. So let's work through some of your resistances to saying no. Reach out.